guys, after making a very strange, or Zhashee making a very strange deal, you guys are on your way back to Malys. You have some interesting Komodo dragon-esque mounts called Cold Bloods.
Yes.
Your horses do not. Those of you with horses that aren't magically inclined horses, even the magically inclined ones, are not exactly happy being near these things. But it's a pretty uneventful trip back, honestly. What does anybody want to do?
I mean, I want to talk to them, but I have a feeling that they're not going to have a wealth of information to share.
Only one of them is awakened.
Oh, right. Which was that?
Redden.
Redden? It was Redden.
Redden.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I would want to talk to it about, but I think it might have answers for it.
Okay. It just acknowledges you. It seems like it doesn't like talking all that much. But it's still a lizard, so it's not like it's. It was just the only reason you get the sense. The only reason it revealed that it was awakened before was that you guys were kind of like the previous crew was going around in a circle, and they kind of needed, and he was kind of getting sick of it.
Wanted to make some actual progress.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
So yeah, you guys make your way back to town. It takes about 2 days. When you get there, Daco is still not back. The Resplendent seems ungodly tired. He's like, if it's all right, I'll just go back to my cave now. And you actually see a bunch of the kobolds just like swarm her and ask her a bunch of like super invasive questions about where she is.
Well, it was nice getting to hang out with you again, Resplendent. Your kobolds have been all over the place looking for you. Get some rest.
2 of the kobolds actually do stop you guys, and like you must submit for ID checks. They have like a piece of paper.
I lick one and walk by.
Actually,
I lick them both there.
The one with the clipboard actually like moves and is like, no, that checks out.
Definitely. Just pat one on the head and keep walking.
It licks you and then looks at the clipboard.
I submit my elbow for lickage.
It lets you pass. But yeah, the town, Daco's not back. The elf that was aiding him before also seems to have started wandering back about the where you guys came from. He seemed to be interested in exploring the sewers.
Of course. Dang it, Daco. Well, I was interested in looking up some information on the god Dave and the dragons that we learned about. But if we actually see the elf walking towards the sewers...
No. It was if the kobolds actually let you know that he left about a day ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
About a day ago.
Yep.
Zhashee will say that's probably a little bit too long for us to actually be able to do anything to help him if he ran into the little brain rats, which I think most of the party still doesn't know what's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember who does remember.
Whistler and Zhashee does, and Zhashee only barely does.
I only know the last encounter I had with them. I don't have all my memories. I just know that they were mad at us for some reason, tried to steal the books, and accused us of basically murdering a bunch of them when they had helped us. I will say Zhashee was under the impression in her modified memories that the merchant we had run into had been on the way out of the sewers. So
Yeah.
she's really confused why these
Okay.
little brainy rats are mad.
Would Zhashee have ever mentioned anything about the cranium rats to Whistler?
Because she thought everyone else wasn't aware of them, this is probably the first time Whistler has heard her say it.
Oh, okay. So Whistler just slaps you with a remove curse.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, your memories come flooding back of what actually transpired.
Oh, fuck. So we made a friend, and then we've lost that friendship because we exploded the tunnels and flooded them.
Oh.
My brain hurts a little bit, Whistler.
Now, I will say because you didn't get it by yourself, you don't have any of the previous memories. Like you kind of remembering that, knowing that you were under a curse, but you don't. But they're not. But they're fuzzy and indistinct now.
Kind of like a dream.
Yeah. For Whistler, you literally have two distinct sets of memories because you're technically still under the curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the elf that was working with Daco wasn't with us when we originally went down, so he probably, if he runs into them, so long as he talks to them, will be fine. Anyhow, Whistler, do you think that we might have brought back any books on Dave or the dragons we had heard about? All right. They're all in Elvish. Anyone want to help me with that? I can't read Elvish.
Yeah, I can help with that. I may not understand all the big words, but I can at least help translate it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you guys are going back to the codex, and going it through that way. I'm assuming you're not going to go through it random books.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So as you go to the book, what are you looking for specifically?
Well, what do we want to start with? Do we want to start with Dave or do we want to start with the dragons? With the dragons, I would think, because the one we saw was all crystalline, that Zhashee would actually focus on crystal-like dragons.
Okay. So it's very strange. It's not that there's no information, but all of the information, like, it's all very. Give me just a straight intelligence check, actually.
Okay. Nope, that didn't work. A 2.
Nothing of use comes up.
Okay.
It's all gibberish.
I'll look at Brutus and kind of shrug and go, this makes no sense to me.
Most of them are just attacks of, like, when you talk about crystalline dragons, the book kind of just brings up various sources of just normal dragon attacks.
I don't think it makes any more sense to me either.
I I hand Zhashee the translation book.
The translation book?
Yeah, my cursed my cursed book that might help you comprehend languages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you hand it to me, Zhashee picks it up and flips it open.
Give me a wisdom saving throw. You have advantage because it's a spell effect.
Right. +6.
Oh, sorry, intelligence saving throw, not wisdom saving throw. Sorry, my bad.
Still a spell effect, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one would be 7,
Okay.
and that one would be 6.
Are you not a level 6 yet? I thought you were.
I am. I
You
am.
add your charisma modifier to this.
Oh, well, that's a +3 then. So that's 10 and 9.
Okay. So yeah. So it's the spell gets cast, but the force of it entering your brain causes you to convulse into pain. You are paralyzed for 1 minute.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Probably standing there with kind of an awkward, pained look on her face.
I'll just start poking her.
Yeah, right?
I pick up my book and I kind of like walk backwards toward the door.
Whistler, what's that shitty book? What did you do?
I
He's
hide
gone.
it under my cowl and I'm like,
Book? What book?
What book? I'm sorry, what book? Damn it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm trying not to panic maybe, but if she's stuck for a full minute, I might try to maneuver her somewhere where she could sit.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you would be screaming in pain. I'm not gonna have you take damage, but you are. It's not so much like you're not like rigid. It's like you're clutching your head like you have the world's worst migraine.
Ah, okay.
would I
Oh, so that's
would
even
I
worse.
know- would I know what's going on, or would I just see her frozen?
You can give me a medicine check or an Arcana check. Everyone's higher. Hello. Yeah, you know what's going on. It's you've experienced enough mental effects in the last few days that the her brain is trying to rectify the knowledge of what's going on, and it's having issues. It's kind of like what happened to you and you having two distinct sets of memories. Her brain is thinking in all languages all at one time. So a single thought comes through, and it's like a cacophony going on. And
But I know it's a temporary
yeah,
situation.
you know it's a temporary situation.
Yep. I'm just trying to make myself really small by the doorway.
About a minute goes by, Zhashee, and yeah, eventually your brain is able to kind of filter out the noise, but you're still gonna have it's hard to concentrate because anytime you do, it's again translating all of the words in your head.
Yeah, Zhashee will hold her head in her hands and go, I wish right now I could numb my brain. It's so loud.
Do you want to try reading that book? You still have comprehend languages cast.
Yeah, I will attempt to read the book.
Okay, go ahead and give me both an intelligence check and then an intelligence save.
All right, intelligence check. It's a 4.
Still can't get really any information on the dragons.
Intelligence save. Is this a magical effect?
Yes, it is.
That's-
Okay. You are able to stop. You're able to properly filter out, so you can concentrate on the one translation you actually want.
Okay, so I can concentrate on Elven because it's pretty much all the books we got.
Well, it's more like you can concentrate on the translations that going through your head to common. It's not the. It's a whole. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
mess.
Your head's a mess now.
My head is a mess now. Okay.
Yeah, but you still the information the book is providing you is it's a bunch of like random reports from just normal everyday dragons. It's not, and they're really old because everything here is super old.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't help very much. I guess I will attempt to shift over to my secondary line of inquiry to attempt to find some information to try to
Okay,
convert.
that's easy enough. You get for the most like to convert people. It's none of it's that way. In fact, you know that all these passages are a treatises on lesser gods, worshipped by non-elven cultures.
Mhm.
It's like a anthropology textbook from the 1840s.
Oh, so it's bad.
It's
Yeah.
really bad.
Bad.
Okay.
It's super. It's not like malicious, but it's just super.
Just stupid.
Yeah, just like one guy observed this guy observed a practice once, and it's now.
And he clearly knows everything about it. Then
Yeah.
yeah. So he wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
But it talks about how the trolls worship Dave, and it basically refers to Dave as a fertility god, and that a bunch of ancient rites that you now are aware that they were referring to basically just normal like marriages and just standard, like it's not they're not, I mean, they're religious ceremonies, but not they're not invoking Dave's blessing. They're just kind of part of the culture. It's not.
Okay. Cool.
You do get the sense that if you wanted more information, you should probably talk to firsthand sources and go to the Heaven Seat Mountains and actually talk to the people that worship, and not the guy observing the people.
Usually a better idea to just ask yourself.
Yeah, Zhashee will mention that, but if we're going to be heading out of New Malys, I'd rather try to go to the island where the Minotaurs are. But
I would tell you that the trolls are actually relatively close by, so they're basically 780 miles due south of you guys.
okay.
I don't think that Brutus would want to go back and confront I forget their names. The creatures, sorry.
The
That is
Formians?
like Formians, thank you. I wanted to say Florians, and that's not right. Formians.
Florians? They're all
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
they're all oxen
no,
with
they're all giant oxen. No.
yeah.
I don't think Brutus would want to go and do that without Dom, though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, totally fair.
At least giving him the option to come with or not. So if you want to take care of the trolls, Brutus would be down for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a kind of a long journey though, and we still haven't found anything about
We've got
dragons.
lizards.
Do
Can
you
we
know where
ask?
the dragons are supposed to be?
Yeah. Want to pick one at random on the map?
I think
Maybe.
Tucker wants to say something.
Oh, sorry.
I just was wondering what is the troll population in New Malys? Like,
There's
are
two.
there
think
any
it's
trolls
just
that live
there.
here?
I think it's just Sarah occasionally comes through. As far
No,
as I
there's
know.
two. There's
There's
two
two?
permanent trolls in the area.
That
Technically
would
a family, but
Can we go and talk to them?
Yeah, we can talk to them before looking more into the dragons.
I've already made friends with one dragon. I'm sure I could make friends with these other ones.
We friends. The one we released.
You made
As long
friends
as
with
it
two
eats me
dragons.
last, that's fine.
so okay. Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have my laptop with me right now, so I don't have their names. But yeah, you find the family, the two trolls. They were part of the caravan that you guys were on. So
Okay.
but yeah, they're like, it's the you're gonna talk to them, I assume. It's the mercenaries from like a month and a half ago. Is something the matter?
Well, not really the matter. Did want to find out how you're settling in, and hopefully everything's going well.
Oh, it's doing well. We're just trying to get our homestead set up, you know. And you notice there's a few like it looks like these were the ones that they had quite a few oxen. They also have some little baby sheep, like lambkins, hopping around too.
They're adorable.
Now, when I say lambkin, like they're baby sheep, but they're the size of a human. Like these are baby dire rams.
I still love it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I'm probably big enough to still hug one, so I want to try to hug one.
And you know that the diorams are actually a cultural thing for the trolls. So.
Well, if it wouldn't be disrespectful, then I want to try and hug one. To clarify.
Are they trying to jump on people?
They're not like goats. They're sheep. They're not.
Excited puppies.
Yeah.
Well, would you like any help? I did want to ask you a bit more about Dave, and I am more than willing to explain. There's a particular group that seems to be having fertility issues that I think maybe if they change their avenue of worship, they might be happier all around, even if they don't.
I mean, and they kind of stop you. Like, I mean, we're not priests or shamans. I mean, I can give you, and they hold on, and they go in and they grab it's a small little like book. Essentially, it's a hymnal. Like, I mean, we can give you this, but we're not priests. It's not like we're experts.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's a little like insulting that you think all of us are.
I don't think you're priests. I think that starting at a base knowledge would be best for me to even find out if it's something that I can propose to them.
I mean, Dave is the one who blessed us with our strength and our ability to ability to raise or the and survive in the colds. They showed pity on our on those of us trapped in the mountains and elevated us, but I don't know how that helps you.
I'm not sure either yet.
But it might. Any new information is helpful.
Yes, any new information.
A hat appears on one of their heads
Do they
while you're
notice it?
talking.
Yeah, Zhashee kind of cocks her head and she looks confused. Well, thank you for the hymnal. Is there anything you'd like help with before we wander off again?
No, we're pretty content.
Okay. Can Brutus hug one of the lambkins?
Sure. Just be careful. They're not exactly that strong at this age.
With the utmost delicacy.
Okay.
I will hug them.
Their wool is the soft. It's like an Angora rabbit. It is the softest wool. Like it's also like double layered, so it's super warm.
I steal one. I'm kidding. This one's mine now. I'm adopted. I'm gonna co-opt their children. Okay, now I'm good. I'm very pleased that I got my hug.
Okay.
Alright. Do we think that the settlement or whatever of trolls nearby would have more direct information?
You could probably if you were able to make it down there. Yeah, they would definitely have. The troll culture is a shepherding culture. They're not nomadic. They do have permanent settlements, but during the summers, they basically go where the herd goes. And they are primarily it's a politically they are controlled by a shaman who reads the weather and is basically a religious leader. And then they also have a military leader. Primarily when they're not at war, which they're very rarely at war. But when they're not at war, the shaman is basically in charge. And then when they are at war, their lead general takes control. And then they also have usually the council, an elder council will maintain some sort of advisory, but yeah. So most tribe, for lack of a better term, tribes have a shaman that would be well versed in the religious rites.
Okay.
So yes.
Once more, yeah, if that's something that Zhashee thinks is worth the time to go down there and get that information.
So Zhashee will share that she does think it's worth the time for her because she wants to try to get the yuan-ti warren that she's now champion of away from their demon worship. And she thinks that because they would already know about the Serpent Lord, that possibly Dave might be a better fit for this particular warren.
Just a slide over a little bit.
Slight shift. But we also still
Lord.
have
Yeah.
Good align deity.
Good align deity.
We're part of it's the same. That's the same thing, really.
I don't see the difference.
We still don't have like any type of global teleport. So 750 miles at 20 miles a day. It's a lot.
It's a lot of time.
And I would say the last 250 miles of that is in basically the Himalayas of this world, is the Heaven's Teeth Mountains.
So we're not really prepped for it. So I think possibly picking one of the dragons on our map to investigate might be more fruitful at this point in time. Unless there's something you guys want to explore.
I'm fine with the dragon, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good with dragons. Yeah. Do we want to just like throw a dart at the map and pick, or do we?
Okay.
Do we have a preference?
Okay, so remember that the amethyst dragon is currently attacking the palimpsest.
Yes, having breakfast.
The circle around the library, that was just me showing where the library was.
Okay.
But the other white circles are where the other 4 are.
And the palimpsest was the one furthest north, right?
The palimpsest is indicated by the purple, by that purple border.
Okay, so it's the purple border and then the 4 circles along the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the dragon that we had freed was from this section of the white, right?
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. That's what I was
So then this one
That's
down.
the easiest.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
At least to locate. And maybe Storm is better friends with it than we think.
I'm thinking I'm like, maybe I could get a ride to this other place that you guys want to go to. Maybe that would be quicker.
A ride with what?
A dragon. I just have to convince them.
The Resplendent's too small.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if you want to go talk to the amethyst dragon, sure.
Excuse me, can I interrupt your brunch for you to give me a ride?
Whistler is going to take out his journal where has his copy of Zashee's map. And his has rings on it with, there's no numbers because he can't write it, but he's got rings to represent what he believes are the time dilation progress.
Yeah.
Because that is probably in a time dilated area.
Mhm.
It is. However, it is. So let me ping this map so you can kind of see where things are. So, as I said, weirdly, despite the fact that it should like everything you know about magic should be it should be spherical in nature about it emanating out. For whatever reason, despite the fact that the walls themselves are not inherently magical, the walls are keeping the time dilation in. So as long as you stay outside this wall over here, you won't be affected by it. However, so here is just severe time dilation to the point, like to the outside observer, it looks like time has stopped.
Yeah, we see rocks floating in the air.
Yeah,
that have been falling for 2 millennia.
Yeah. This one is so, and it emanates out, and this one is in the next most severe zone. Like you could actually see movement but if you were to drop a rock in here, it would be like a minute later it would move like a centimeter. Like that's how slow time is. This one is out of that zone. Like again, you're looking at very it's slow, but it's not ungodly slow. The one that's actually in the least affected time dilation is here.
Ah, so even though it's further away, that one would probably be
kind of, because the thing is, you could get to this one because you'd be outside the wall. You'd be affected as soon as you entered. You'd be affected by time dilation. Here, the wall is all the way over here, so you'd be in time dilation the entire time you're moving.
Well, we'd have to loop all the way around to stay out of the wall area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we should probably take care of anything in town.
Yeah.
And make sure all our followers are safe before we attempt it then.
Okay.
Also, is the copper coral back or is it still gone?
The copper coral is not back. However, you see where it was, there seems to be some type of gathering. I will also say you see a few of the Sister Iome's followers are dressed in black. Or no, actually, sorry, culture. They'd be dressed in pure white right now, as they're moving their way towards that church.
Oh crap! In timeline, it's been about a week.
Yeah, it's been about a week.
Shit. Seeing that, Zhashee says, shit, I think Sister Iome's passed.
Yeah, I think so. I remember. Is culturally, is there a way to go and pay our respects, or is this okay? I don't know if it's a stay out of the monastery while they do.
Culturally, the color of mourning is white. And you haven't confirmed that she's passed.
Yeah.
But if you try to stop any of the petitioners, they don't say anything. They literally just blink at you and then continue on. Each of them are holding lanterns, despite it being light out.
Do they look like they're in a daze or something, or are they just not talking?
They look distraught, but it's none of you are from the Empire, so give me a religion check. Anyone who wants to know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, so Brutus with the intelligence checks. So yeah, you know what's going on. You're not sure. This could be after she passed, or it could be the day. Like for especially diviners or people who know that their life is coming in to an end for the religious, they actually set up the wake before they die. It is, and the mourners are required to have 72 hours of silence, and and the lanterns are to help guide the passing to they're like presented to them as ways of traversing the endless dark to their afterlife.
Okay. I will share that with Zhashee. Well, with everyone, but we lost Chris.
Yeah,
and
we
Tucker.
lost Kristen Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be appropriate to change out into whites and
If you were going to attend, yes.
she was really important to the entire community, and she really helped us with the undead phoenix. I kind of heard him go, ooh.
Yeah, I can hear you,
ooh.
Terry. Now you're muted, Terry.
And now you're muted.
I was saying because I couldn't see my my voice pop up and down, and I wasn't sure if people were actually hearing me, so I just kept testing it because I was just trying to figure that out.
Uh-huh.
All right, got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I'm up for doing our best to say goodbye to Sister Iome in the respectful way of her culture, which right now we know we need to be in white. We need to shut the fuck up.
Was there anyone in town who maybe we would be able to communicate with without them? I mean, is it just
Well, the kobolds
practitioners?
wouldn't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
The lay practitioners who aren't attending could probably let you know.
Okay,
And
I
they
want to
said-
ask around and check.
They're like, it's a funeral, but Iome's not passed yet. It's a like you. I think you probably actually would go to the Flower and Sickle, and it's one of either one of the patrons there or one of the employees there is like it's, but she hasn't quite passed yet. According they say she's waiting for someone. She's holding on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
think
we should go see her.
I agree.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't really know if I wear clothing, but I'm not gonna put anything specific on yet. If I get there, and then when I find out for sure one way or the other, then I'll put white on. But
Okay.
I'll wait until I know for sure what's happening.
Agreed.
Okay. You make your way to the church, and sure enough, it's dead quiet. You see, Iome is actually propped up against the tree that was overgrown into the church. All of its leaves are kind of. It's summer. They're dry because it's not a particularly well watered tree, but she's leaning up against it. You actually see the lanterns, all pretty much unlit, are hanging from branches around the tree, and you actually see some of the parishioners come up and like test boughs. It's almost like a Christmas tree, except it's not a evergreen tree; it's a deciduous tree, and they're like hanging the lanterns all over this tree. Iome is in white robes herself, sweating, her red kind of furry visage, and she sees you all approach. She just smiles and lets out a long breath. Leans her head up against the tree, and kind of in a Star Wars moment, her entire body like disappears. The tree, you feel this wind, this gentle breeze come up, shakes all the boughs. The leaves start becoming this deep, deep red, the color of Iome's skin, and all the lanterns light all at once. And the tree seems to have more life in it than you've seen in a very, very long time. Burned into the branch is a symbol of a phoenix. Or into the trunk is a symbol of a phoenix. It really looks like the tree is on fire between the lanterns and the bright red leaves.
I'll now pull out whatever white I happen to have and put it on. I don't know if it's ribbons or bandages I can wear as a sash or something, but I'll do that.
As you do that, the parishioners each stand up on kind of in a like super orderly line, go up, place a hand on the burnt in phoenix. You see like a weird pulse be shared between the tree and the person, and then they just silently walk out.
I also find whatever white I have to put on. I don't think Zhashee has much white, but it'll probably be a scarf or something.
Okay. You're in the back, so do you do the same thing, or do you just wait until everyone's cleared out?
Probably wait until all of the practitioners have gone. No cutting in line. I'll wait till the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait until everyone else is done and then follow suit.
Okay. As you place your hand on the symbol, you feel a warmth come through you, and each of you who do so gain 5 temporary hit points, and for 24 hours are resistant to fire. As it fills yourself. There's some type of comfort. As you leave, you notice people are kind of going about. Some peel off to the flower and sickle. There is a kind of solemn atmosphere throughout the town, but it's not one of like depression. There seems a I don't know. There seems to be also a sense of hope, despite how sad everything is. Most people go back to their jobs. The Flower and Sickle has quite a few people. Weirdly, all drinking tea. Hardly anyone's getting blitzed. You actually see a lot of the employees of Flower and Sickle look bored, like no one is partaking of their services currently. As night falls, all of you start hearing a weird popping.
From
like
the
pop.
tree?
No, from up on the cliffside. You hear at first it's a really like sharp pop, and in like at like 7th C, and then it like and then like a minute later you hear another pop, and it's now at 6th C, like it's dropping down an octave each time.
As an indicator that it's coming closer?
It seems to be emanating from the same place, but it just seems to be getting bigger to the point like the 7th pop is not even audible. It's more like a rumbling.
Uh-oh.
Like you can feel it in the ground.
I'd like to slowly go investigate.
Yeah.
You pop your head out, and a familiar-looking tavern is overlooking the
Yay!
light spilling out.
Wait, so it's like popping in and out of existence, slowly getting closer.
No, it was like a thing this big, suddenly became this big, and then became this big, and then became...
It's a capsule corp thing. Sorry.
Oh, that's awesome. They're back.
Yes.
Zhashee is going to start heading there because she needs to find out how Chef's doing.
Hey, Tucker's back.
Hey, we have a slight internet problem that I am fixing right as we go. So
Okay.
Okay.
I'm logged in on my phone right now.
No worries.
So yeah,
Billing issue with Comcast this time. So we're just waiting for the reactivator account.
Ah, okay.
Fun.
All right.
Yeah, we should go and say hi, see how everyone is, and update them on what happened.
Yeah. And by the way, no one else, like, you guys were the only ones that really reacted to the popping. Everyone else seemed to have been like, yeah, this is just a thing that happens.
We're the only ones like, what the hell? What's going on?
Cool.
Oh, I haven't seen that before, so I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I'll go check it out. How did you get your house so small?
This is an actual magical item I created, by the way. It's Arena's inflatable pin.
Oh my god, I love it. That's hilarious. Is it? How frequently can that be used? And
Once
can it be
it can transform. It can transform size once a week, but it has to do it at night.
Can it transform?
Or sorry, it can get. It has to get bigger at night, and it has to get smaller at dawn. It's a dusk dawn thing.
Oh, okay. Can it be transported once it is shrunk?
Technically, it does not change mass. So the
it's just an insanely
so
dense...
it's really heavy when it's this big, and then like it's bouncy castle light when it's the.
Well, comparatively, yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just literally pick it up in one hand and run off with it? They didn't even need to shrink it.
Because that's really awkward.
Wait, how does it stay on the ground and a stiff breeze
forms
doesn't take it away?
like it actually forms into the ground. It's.
Oh, okay.
Actually, if
I was
you
gonna
see
say.
it actually has a giant like.
Anchor.
Yeah.
I was envisioning either that or the equivalent of tent spikes in the corners where no one would notice. I'll be back.
No, I have to make it maintain mass, otherwise it becomes a physics issue if it.
That's why I was
gains
asking.
mass.
Yeah. It's like, hold on. How do you account for that? All right.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, the copper coral's back.
Oh, okay, cool. And there's a giant chicken?
No, there's no giant chicken.
They're really small.
No, there's no chicken. I don't know where the chicken.
It's a normal sized chicken. Come
on. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some coffee. Give me a second.
Fine. I don't want to pet you anyway.
I got it.
Well, it should have came back. Okay. I'm gonna get off and back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay! Success.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. You're muted. Hello.
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 Well, should we catch Chris and Tucker up on Iome's funeral? And
Iome's dead?
yeah, she died pretty much right when we walked up. And
Yep.
her essence seemed to go into the tree. Its leaves became all fiery red, and all of the lanterns that the parishioners had been hanging on the tree lit all at once. As the parishioners all lined up in a solemn line and touched the tree, anyone that did so gained 5 temporary hit points and for 24 hours has resistance to fire.
When she left, the phoenix was emblazoned on the trunk of the tree.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
the copper coral has popped back into existence.
Yeah, the people that were attending were wearing some sort of white.
White, and the tradition is to be silent for 72 hours in respects, which for Whistler.
So do we know when she died?
She died literally as we walked up. We walked up, she looked at all of us, long exhale, and died.
Okay.
She had been sitting leaning back against the tree.
And where was this?
Next to her church, her temple, where the tree had kind of like grown over into the temple itself.
To be clear, this is how big the magic item is when it's in its small form.
How did we miss that when we were like, oh, where'd the building go?
Well, probably because Irina had it and had already left.
Don't mind me. I'll be taking this.
Kind of what she does. Okay, so you guys are going to the copper coral?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Not Whistler.
Okay. What's Whistler gonna do?
Well, because now that I know that Sister Iome is dead, because we missed that, Whistler's gonna hang out where she died and just cry and lose his shit.
Okay. Oh, poor Whistler.
And where Sandy is.
Okay. So, actually, we do need to resolve that. So you do see, as you kind of lose your shit, you actually get an image of, Sister Iome, like her spirit coming out of the tree, and she doesn't say anything. She just points to underneath the, sorry, not underneath, underneath one of the branches, and you see it looks like a tiny berry at first, except it's glossy, like it and semi-translucent, like, and when you stare at it, you realize it's a red diamond.
Okay.
That seems to be has some type of magic in it.
I take it.
Mm-hmm.
And I lick it.
It tastes like
I
a red
pocket
diamond.
it.
Okay.
You know that really particular red diamond taste?
Yeah, it tastes like a diamond.
Like strawberries.
Mm-hmm. It does not taste like strawberries. It tastes like garbage. Okay, back to the copper coral. The it's bustling. A lot of the parishioners, they're now talking now that night has fallen, and and music is playing. Um, Zhashee, you see Chef is um, being yelled at by a tiny little grung, or not grung, goblin, and about him messing up again. Um,
Poor chef.
you see you see a familiar bandaged looking or not bandaged, but a elf wearing wearing a bunch of scarves, hanging out, talking to a tiny dragonborn with a huge glaive on her back, um, and a human bard that is like tuning her bagpipes and keeps on getting a withering look from Marina.
I imagine that the human bard has a shit-eating grin and is tuning the bagpipes even more with every withering look from Marina.
Also seated at the table are three twins. They're bald. They look exactly the same and are just very rigid and looking furtively around.
Wait, hold on. Wait, 3 twins?
Sorry, triplets.
Okay. No, because you said 3 twins, and I thought 3 sets of twins. I was like,
No, sorry. You see triplets. You see
There's too many people in here.
You see a set of triplets.
Okay.
They're and they just look like humans. They have a bunch of warts on their face, though. Is the only distinguishing. And those warts are in different places on each of them, but the rest of it is all exactly the same.
Ah, they did that so you could tell them apart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know anybody, so I will follow Zashi's lead, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to wait until Chef has a break and then go over and say hello and see how he's doing. But I'm not going to interrupt Don Lun's.
It's dinner. Chef is not going to have a break anytime soon.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Zhashee will just wave to him and then go.
He nods.
And go head to Daco, which unfortunately Chester's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Behind the bar is a woman in a long, kind of seafarer's coat, very red skin, kind of long hair on top, but like shaved sides, and with curling back horns. You haven't seen her here yet, so, but she's tending bar.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna grab more coffee. I will go up and say hello to the redskin tiefling and get something to drink. But yeah, I need coffee and I need to distract myself for a moment. I'll be back.
Okay. Anybody else do anything?
Yeah, I would go to Daco.
Okay.
And figure out where he's been, what he's been doing, catch him up.
Political bullshit.
Fun. Do you need help, or is it settled now?
No. I mean, nothing's settled, but it's calmed down. Apparently, killing Sabra had some consequences.
Unfortunate necessity. Update him on what happened with Zhashee and the other Warren, the trolls, and now Sister Iome, if he hadn't already known.
He nods and says, I heard about Sister Iome. That seems to be anyone can talk about. Oh, forgive me. This is mentions the motions to the Dragonborn. This is Arillis. Then mentions the human bard and says, "This is Yashara," and then indicates under the table, and then hopping up is this strange mushroom man with a like holding a sword that's entirely too big for him, and like, this is Mike, I guess. Kind of bows its head, and then I'm sorry, I still can't believe these are his names, but this is Zitz, Rash, and Pimple.
Nice to meet you all.
The three humans just kind of nod, and then the same thing with the mic in it. The bard and the dragonborn just kind of sigh and stay to their drinks, but say hello.
Were they involved with this political thing?
They are representative, one of the interests in keeping Char's influence contained.
Ah, then it is indeed nice to meet you. I don't know enough about that arc to really say much. I also don't know what I would or wouldn't know in character.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know much, so.
Yeah.
What's Storm and Bill doing?
Storm is getting a drink at the bar.
Molly actually is like, I need to. How old are you?
Old enough.
Fair enough. What do you want?
I just want to be like, surprise me, but not too much of a surprise, please. Not again.
Okay.
Surprise me, but keep it boring.
No whiskey.
She nods, grabs some dark rum from underneath the table, pours that, and then also grabs some mead. And like, if you want something a little lighter, and then pours you a full glass of mead.
All right. Yeah.
If I spy that, I want some rum.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty open. Most of the people here are there's not a lot of ale being passed around, but there's a bunch of mead, a bunch of wine, and then of the shots being served, it seems to be actually all rum. Weirdly, like,
Is that typical?
well, not here. It's but especially not the Copper Coral. But it seems to offend Molly if you order anything other than rum. And Tucker and Chet and Chris are frozen.
Uh-oh.
Unless Tucker has the longest yawn in the world right now.
Oh, you've got him yawning. I've got him mouth closed. They're both just staring dead-eyed forward in line.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
They're all about being in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll jump in with what Bill's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill's basically doing his rounds, like I said, trying to keep the kobolds busy, making sure they're doing their sting to the regiment, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up having to start a fire watch around the chapel because there was talk of all this fire in place, and people started worrying.
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple people walking around with buckets. For the most part, he's just making sure people are okay, / talking to people that are willing to talk, kind of thing.
Okay. I will say, like, so the kobolds kind of misinterpret your discussion, and they see the lanterns, and they try to start dousing them, and it does not work. But and some of the people who notice the kobolds try to douse it get a little bit upset. But otherwise, it's fairly uneventful. Is there anything you're trying to find out, or like specifically?
I wouldn't say necessarily finding things out, just walking around, making sure people are doing what they're supposed to. They're staying busy and they're staying away from Daka, letting Daka deal with what Daka needs to, kind of be the middleman kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There is no one seems to know that Dako is back. He seems to not have checked in with his with the people. Is that Tucker again?
It looks like they're back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Forth, back. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty sedate day. Everyone seems really happy the copper coral is back. Because they can actually get good liquor. Flower and Sickle has some, but it's pretty crap. They're more known for their teas. And everybody has been feeling the need to get drunk for the past week. Really.
I get it. I'll revel in the return of the copper coral and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go introduce myself to Molly, and since it would be evident that she gets irritated when anyone doesn't order rum, I will order rum, though I don't think Zhashee actually likes rum. It's too sweet. Unless, I guess she will ask Molly if there's a spicy rum.
No, I can get just spiced rum. She reaches down under the counter, gets it. It's still sweet, but it's
So sweet. Yeah.
because she understood spicy rum as spiced rum. So
Yeah. So, you're new to me here, but I assume the copper coral went somewhere else. I'm Zhashee. Hi, nice to meet you.
I'm Molly.
Cool. How long are you gonna? Well, are you here permanently? Or are you?
No, I can't stay long. I'm just helping out my sister for her grand reopening. I had to get back me and them, and she indicates actually the people sitting with Daco.
What? So Daco is back. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a mushroom person before.
They're pretty rare. More of a new thing from some from about 5 years ago. Some people brought back some things that probably shouldn't have.
Wonder whatever that could have been.
Yeah, that's odd. Crazy weird. Super.
Yeah.
Some water.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the rum. It's okay. I'm in a little bit of pain, so I'm blanking on it. Normally, we'd order from the bartender as well. Any food, right, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, I will go ahead and order food and then go to where Brutus and Daco are.
Okay. The table's getting a little crowded, so you'll have to pull up another table.
That's fine. I'll scoot over and sit with Zhashee.
Your drinks come out. It's a good old party. The Daco seems a little tight-lipped about what was going on. Kind of tells Brutus that he'll talk about it when we're not
Later.
in the middle of where everyone can overhear.
Yeah, that's fine. I figured. So I'm like, he's back. Seems okay. We'll deal with it later.
You do kind of overhear Chef. Chef has this. Zhashee, you'd notice this. Chef has this. It looks like a trough of food. And he seems to be going out back, and he's like, "Why do I have to feed the giant fucking scorpion?" And is.
Oh yeah, Zashee's he perks up on that and will wander that way behind Chef.
Yeah, there's a giant scorpion back there in the stables.
Yeah, I blink at him.
It blinks back, which is really weird because it has its normal eyes, but two of the most forward eyes have little bifocals on it.
I will go ahead and actually say hello in common.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
I want to, out of character, explain. This is not my fault. This happened in a campaign a long time ago, and he's a power now.
It sounds so cute and perfect. Just a massive scorpion with teeny little bifocals. Just hello, nice to meet you. What can I
Should
do
have
for you
seen him
today?
when he was a baby.
How dare you rob
And yes,
me of
Tucker,
that
the
experience?
stables are part of the Copper Coral. They're like out back.
But I mean, when they shrink down, they go with it.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Zhashee.
The humans call me Dervis. They can't really pronounce, and then he makes this bunch of clicking sounds.
Yeah, I don't think I can pronounce that either. If you're all right with me calling you Dervis, I will continue to call you Dervis.
It's whatever. I need to go. I'm here just for tonight.
Are you with Daco and...
Ally of convenience for right now. I owe my life to Daco's patrons.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're involved with the whole front against Shar then?
I'm kind of in charge of it, honestly.
Really? Well, that's excellent to hear. How she would actually say? I have been attempting.
I just lost Becca. I just lost everybody. Hello?